welders. Back out on site, activity happening. And for all of you folks that keep going, why aren't these blokes got a wash plant and washing all this material? Well, there's the truck, the old beast, which we're putting the material in now. And we're going to put it aside, which was always the intent, because we can't wash you at the moment under the consent conditions. But that has the possibility of being able to change with some negotiation, so we'll get onto that. But what I'll do is I'll just walk, just go on a little wander here and show you what's going on with regard to what is already set up here on this site from the previous workings back in the 80s, 70s, 80s. It was a while back. I haven't gone back and had a look at the old leases. We know it's in that era somewhere. You can tell by the old beer cans that you find here and there. So they were obviously wet processing at that time, and you can see these settling ponds that are already here, and we knew they were there, and we're going to look to use them again. I'll have to climb over some stuff here. Rightio, cleared that. So let's have a look as I walk this way. You don't want to see my mug the whole time. Right, let's check out what I'm talking about now. I'm walking up these big contours here. So we're working over in here, and there's all this ground through here is mullicked. I mentioned it before. All down through here is mullicked, but that has been worked over here. Okay, and I think it looks like they probably have worked it to the bottom, but you've got this huge amount of spoil that's been pushed up in this big row. I'm walking along the top of it. You can see up here there's another huge area. Now that is actually the first of what is a giant settling pond, and this is also really where I'm walking down into a big settling pond. So this can be recalibrated and turned into what it was once before, and that's what the proposal will be. Whether we get it through or not is another question, but so the idea is that the truck picks up a load, runs it around. It's going to come up here and dump loads off the edge of this terrace that was already here, that we cleaned up yesterday with the bulldozer. And there's a big area here this was all just regrowth, same as everywhere. These trees are all grown up in the last 20-30 years through these existing mine areas. So let's have a look. We got there eventually. Right, so there was a big flat terrace up here, and recontoured this. Walked in here the other day and said we're not going to really be able to dump that soil in a flat area. It uses up too much area. We need to be able to dump it off an edge and fill a void. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to be dumping and filling this void, and basically this whole area in front here will fill up and become a level terrace. Then we're going to set up the sluice and the trommel down in here, and basically load with a front end loader out of that straight into the trommel. At that point, now there's a dam, so then it goes down through into another dam, and then curls around and goes into another bigger dam, and we're just going to pump from that dam up and just recycle the water down through here. It's just actually it's perfect because it's got settling area. Got a first settling pond here, second one, and then a third one. So, and there's our operations over there. So really it's gold. It's gold. I mean, we're on the gold, and this, you couldn't ask for any better. And really, from an approvals point of view, we don't have to terraform too much. We don't have to do too much to the environment. Yeah, there's a few regrowth trees and stuff, but that's all just a normal part of mining operations anyway. So we'll find out, but it all bodes well. In anticipation, at least we're going to put this material aside and get it sitting there ready to work. So I'll just wait on the moo cow. He's coming around now with the truck to dump a load off. We might just catch that, and I'll just pause it here so we don't waste some time, and we'll come back when he's dumping the load. Now this old girl, she's sucking a bit of air into the lines, and the gearbox is a bit dicky, but does the job. Until we get an upgrade at least. But certainly the moo cow's best suited to it. Oh, he's losing material. Yeah, the locking mechanism on the back flap's gone.
Probably don't want to record this. This is a manual bit. It's like in hydraulic. Look a bit. It's the side of the stick. I ordered another one last night. This is the tool to fix it.
That's alright, we know it.
Probably don't want to put this on TV, mate.
Shit. Looks like we need to cut it there because he's doing some oh, shit. There he is down underneath having a crack. You got to do what you got to do. It works. It works. I've got to give it to the moo cow. He gets around shit, something breaks down, he'll doctor it up, he'll rewire, he'll work out a way. So he's very handy like that. He'll get into it. So whatever's gone wrong there, he needs to climb under and do a little dodgy job. But there we go, that's what we're doing. That'll just fill that void, as I said, and don't know how long it's going to be before we come back with that wet plant action and what comes out of it, but this is the preliminaries, and all of you folk that are following on this journey, from early on, you'll obviously be able to see what we're doing, and I want to be able to bring that in real time when we're learning as well. It's not perfect, we know what we're doing, but there's still going to be plenty to learn. So yeah, just stick with us. This really is early days, and there's going to be some crazy stuff, good adventures, good goals, and it's all to come. But the rest of this season and seasons to come, and it's going to be glorious. All right, find some gold. Well, this morning there was a giant pile of spoil right there. That is now over there in a hole, with now a hole where the giant pile of spoil was. I had to test forward here and just make sure there wasn't much there. Really almost a waste of time, less than 3 grams. And then now I've moved back, but this is where it starts coming on. All the slate falls away and it's moving to a low point, and it's going to get richer and richer and deeper. But as expected, sort of some nuggets starting to show up. Anyway, So, just pulled a little nugget out there and then heard a fainter target. And so I've been digging away. I've sort of been digging away quite a bit here with my new moo pick. I've showed you moo pick before, but I asked Moo to fix this up for me last night, so he's doctored it up, and I've got to say, it's a weapon. It's a weapon, but it chops in real nice, and it sort of will actually help not have to get the jackhammer out quite as early on. It's just got just a bit more grunt in the head. It goes in pretty deep. So give this a good hack now and down into the slate now and see what we're going to get out of here. Wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it's back on this side a little bit. Probably film this one like all the ones I film. It'll be like a nice loud deep one, and you get there and go, oh, it's a half grammer, and then I turn the camera off and hear this like little pokey target, and it's like a beautiful big nugget. Sorry, I don't really understand sometimes the sound. Oh, it's a little bit blanky. It's blanking out a little bit there, so should be something. Proper slate coming up. Look at that. That's the stuff. Check that out. It's that black, yellow, red, multi-coloured, white, rainbow slate. That's a good colour. There's all different colours, but there seems to be a lot of gold in that type of slate. Ooh, be close to having it out now, surely. Yes. Oh, that's got to be. It's got to be a 2 grammer. Seriously. If that can't be a 2 grammer. But we've been here before, folks. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a nice nug. That's a 2 grammer. Oh, look at that. But look at the, yeah, it was only faint. Have a look in the sun. Nice. Actually, that's getting a little bit reefier. What's that look here? It's a little bit point. It's actually really pointy, jagged. So, yeah. And it's not quite as worn. It's got a little bit of edge on it, so that's interesting because a lot of the stuff's been really water worn and sort of, and that one there is just a little bit more reefy looking. So I don't know if that means anything or not. Probably not. Just might be a random, but sometimes when they get a bit bigger and a bit reefier, you can be a little bit closer to the source. So we'll see. We'll see if it changes. That's just the first little walk. I haven't even walked this cut yet, so it could be starting hot up, and I'd really like to think that I can bring a big nugget soon. Starting to get a bit annoying. All right, we'll come back with a big nugget. I've been bush picking all day. I'm just totally worn out. I've taken 3 scrapes off this cut, only 3 for the whole day. Each scrape, first scrape was probably an hour and a half. The next 2 are probably 3 hours each, and I'm only halfway across on the final scrape. So it's actually really hard work, but that's over 100 nuggets and over target. And hopefully we've got a good one, so I'm going to show you this good one. All right, let's have a listen. Been going down into this hole. Been going down into the slates with a jackhammer. And this is still going, and it's sounding pretty good. There's a good pocket here. Good pocket. It's a really hard slate on this side, with a really rock hard slate, and then it might be a drop off, an old drop off where there's harder slate and it's just dropped some silts. So there's more gold in there. All right. Hello. Hey, there it is. Oh yeah, baby. That'll make up the day. That's what we want to see. Look at that. That's a perler. That's that'll probably push the 10 gram mark. That's a really nice nugget. So yeah, that was deep. Look how far we were chasing that one. So, and there's more in there. So that pocket will continue. It's just been pocket after pocket. Some of the pockets got 20 nuggets. So, you know, you just keep chasing them, and then you take a little scrape off, clean everything up. But it becomes such a mess. There's just spoil everywhere, and just more and more targets in the spoil. And the chances are, actually, most of the time, let's have a go here. Most of the time, when you're chasing a nugget like that, there's usually 2 or 3 in the spoil. There you go. So there's more there to get out, but it's been a long, hard, tough day. I won't bore you with the little ones that are going to come out unless I hear another one like that. But how's that? Let's get it close up. Let's put it on this one, and there we go. A really nice nugget that'll clean up really good. And we just hold it there a little bit longer. I'll do something everybody wants to see, the gold. Have a look at the gold. The gold. Oh yeah, baby. Now that's a day, isn't it? And that's hard work. I mean, look at these calluses starting on my hands. But that's the good stuff right there. That's an over target day, and that makes a scratchy really happy. What do you got here, Moo Cow? You've called me over to Moo Cow's cut because he's found a glory hole. Look, it's a Moo Cow sized glory hole.
That glory hole. It's been going for about 100 metres this way, this run, and then I open up into the glory hole.
So you got a 100-metre run of nice gold with no old timers getting in there.
I suppose half an ounce for an ounce.
And then
little run.
And they found your little run, and then they've come in and they've hijacked it.
Yes.
Right.
Fucking donut drift straight along with the pay. But a little bit of all, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a bit there, a bit there, a bit here.
Right, so he's been following this pay channel, and now the gold timers have, look at those tree roots dropping into that hole there.
Where your knees are.
Yeah.
Where your knees are, I was picking gold out of there before.
Yeah, right.
They missed it just underneath that dirty toilet.
So they, underneath where they were dry, like they're just going over the top of it.
They went over the top and left the gold. So
we know we've seen that before. The old timers and the new timers are leaving us plenty of gold.
The new timers are probably worse. Anyway, that's pretty educated.
But that's a little bit of, it's interesting. See, look, the whole face here, nothing. And where's the drive? On the pay.
On the pay.
Right on the little channel.
Cleaning the bottom, but they didn't clean it properly there. They just stopped right at the edge instead of dark soil.
Yeah, there. They
stopped right at the edge where I stopped cutting.
So it's funny because that must have gone lower. It must have silted up though. How does that work?
So the black is where the bottom is, the old timers.
Oh, down here you reckon the bottom is?
Yeah, that's where the old time, where the silt settled.
Yeah, and that's the silt there, yeah.
Yeah, so where you'll go forward.
Yeah, that there is
That's
that's the real bottom, that's the silt, yeah.
So that's where the old
And they would have been.
gold right on there in that. At the bottom.
Yep. There you go, look, this is a pretty fair old cut in here too for the 30 tonner. So Mookow's doing his thing over here, and I'm doing my thing over there.
65 tonners coming soon, and another 30 by the end of this week.
A 30 and a 65 on the way. I bagged a 65 over there where I am because it's going to get deep. Deep.
I suppose I better lubricate this big captain. This power shovel.
Isn't that?
No,
Are you lubricating the moo?
hang around too long. You will be the one getting lubricated, son.
I'll make sure I'll cut that right there. Huh? Oh, stop it. So the intrigue is too high because we went and did a lot of detecting over the back of the cut, but there was still a sound in the bottom of that hole from earlier, which is now no longer there. It's, oh, I tell a lie, there's still sounds in there. So that's a half a metre hole. So that tells me how far I've got to still dig down to reach the bottom of the gold, and still going. But certainly not going to be as big as that other one. Still going to be a nice nugget. There's a little sister or brother to that one. It's maybe the under twin somewhere here. Oh, it's a nice, it seems to be too small. It's a nice solid 1.5 grams. But we heard that a long way. We dug a long way to get to that 1.5 gram nugget. It sort of feels like, well, the thing about it is we're so far down, and so you can still hear a sound. So you got to remember that we didn't dig that far for a 1.5 grammer. At least half of it was already done. It seemed like a lot of effort to put a 1.5 gram in the jar, but there may still be another consolation here. Oh, that's probably, that could be. See, I just felt like as though, I don't know, that was not quite a good enough sound considering what we've been chasing. So maybe the combination of these two is what we're listening to. Oh, is that it there? No? Yes, that's loud. That's loud for that. I'm glad we got a 10 grammer before, because otherwise you think we're crazy. Look at the sound of that. It's blanking the machine out, and it wouldn't be more than 0.6. Oh my goodness. You know, some of them are just pretty noisy. But anyway, that's probably 1.5, 2 grams that was in the bottom, probably close together. So, and we never know, there might be more yet. Yes, there's more. Let's check over here. You might have hit the, might be a monster hiding over here. Oh, there's one. Okay. We're gonna stack these up. We're gonna stack these up, and they're gonna add up. And that's what we're listening to in the hole. A whole bunch of targets down there deep. I'm looking a bit worse for wear, probably because I am. After a big day yesterday, probably 140 nuggets right here in this cup behind me, and only 3 scrapes, and the gold just keeps coming. You can see I've just bush pigged all around here, some really deep stuff. I expect maybe that this cut could go on for quite a few more hours. and after yesterday and the day before, which was in that cut, it's going past 2 ounces, so anything more comes out of it would be heading towards the 3 and 4 ounce mark, which would make it the richest cut that I've done so far. And what I'm really interested in is what's right here. So it's getting deeper this way into that wall, and the mullock seems pretty rich over there along the back, and I expect that it's going to be quite interesting. So I'm going to step back and take out this section, and then I'll step back and take out that section, and then I'll step back and take out that section, and in the end we're going to have a big void in here. I'm going to leave this as a void, which we might be able to accumulate some water in as well, for assuming that we may in fact get an adjustment to our approvals, which would allow us obviously to start processing some of this material. Anyway, that's just a short check-in to sort of offer up a bit of context for the day, and eventually I'll show you some big ones, but in the meantime I'll continue to show you my accumulations. I've been going about half an hour, and that is piece number 13, and I think number 9 for this hole here, and it's still going. So it continues to be pretty hot to trot this cut. Let's just have a quick listen if there's any more on this spoil here. But, yeah, I've just pulled about 5 out of that one little bit of spoil there. Oh, and there's at least one big one or multiples down in there still, so awesome. This is going to be another good day. Number 12 from that hole, and still going. Number 16 overall. Let's have a listen what we've still got to come. Yeah, that hole promises to just keep expanding. I think that'll be, who knows where that's going to end up before it goes quiet. It could be 20 or 30 in there. So I ended up with 13 out of that hole there before I decided to stop. It'll probably keep going, but I'll just wait till the next scrape. What we've decided to do is all that coarser gold, it can be heard by the detector, has been taken out, but we're going to collect this bottom here as a sample of what we might get out of just fines after it's been extracted of coarse material. So we'll go up and later on we might pan this off and see what we can get out of it, and see what sort of size materials are going to be there, whether it's flour gold or a little bit coarser, or if anything at all. We expect there's probably going to be something decent. This bit here, definitely get that bit there. So yes, this is I'm going to just start doing some of these tests, start to get a bit of a picture, cross section of the concentrations of finer gold, so that we can sort of form up what the expectations might be as we start to put stuff through a wet plant eventually. That could be a month off, or it could be a year off. Don't know yet. So I'm up to 29 nuggets between just there and here. I'm getting towards the end of this scrape. I've got a little bit behind me to check. I'm up to 5 nuggets out of this hole, and there's still a pretty good one in there. Let's have a quick listen. I like the sound of that one. So we will track it. I'll pause it here and I'll come back when it's coming out. Okay. In the scoop. So it just came out. Normally you can see them sparkling. Where is it? There it is. You see it? Nice chunk. Another good grammer. Another good grammer for number 30. And yep. Happy with that. Number 30, that's one of my roulette numbers. Well, that cut there is starting to slowly thin. You can see the slates becoming more exposed. And eventually I'll dive deep enough into those slates there to finish that off. So that this could be the last scrape, or maybe I can get another 1 or 2 out of that before it probably will, and we'll call it a day on that one. But if you have a look here, the big old beast loaded up, and all that there is good pay. All the pay that you folks out there keep saying, aren't we washing it? Well, one day we will. I don't know how long it'll take, but eventually it'll go through a plant and we'll recover what's in it. Well, that is gold piece number 44, and that is an auspicious number for me this year. So, and that's number 5, and it's not even the biggest one out of this hole. And it's just, maybe it's number 6, I don't know. It's just, I've picked up basically a piece of gold in every scoop, and look, still another good one there, and who knows what's underneath that. And I just took another crack at this with the jackhammer, pulled more spoil out. I'm up to, I think, 49. So 49, I think it says 10 or 11 out of this hole now. Look what's at the bottom. I just took the scrape and then just 2 nuggets sitting right there, side by side. 1, 2, and I haven't even picked up the detector and detected any of this spoil yet. So let's just have a look. What I usually set the detector a fair way away because it doesn't like the jackhammer. It needs to be ground balanced every time. It's a bit further away, so it's not too bad. So let's just see. Look. Right, so one big one or a number in there. I think another one on the side here, and then 2 in the hole. So we've probably got another 5 there at least. There you go, that's number 52. A nice chunk. And that's, yeah, it's lost count for this hole. I think it's 12 or 13. So really, I love a good pocket, and these pockets are amazing. You think the cut's just about at an end, and then it was just a little faint benign noise on top, and it's like, oh, I have to have a bit of a crack at that because it's in the wall, and then it just goes and goes and goes. It's amazing. Got the Yowie man actually doing some work here, carrying the bucket down. So we're going to sieve off this material that we picked up the other day from that hole, and there's a whole bunch of this stuff, is at least as rich as this. So this is all the bits and pieces, all the leftover material that's had the good bits of coarse gold taken out of it, but out of a pocket. So it's obviously what we're looking for is fines. How much fines is left after we've picked through it. That's sort of the template that we're going for, and then I can extrapolate out the amount and convert it to tonnages and hopefully sort of work out what we might have in the stockpiles.
Might have to take my boots off for this. Better do that.
Is that the spot to do it, or you don't want to do it over there because that's where you go in for your wash?
Yeah, that's me washing. That's me bath spot.
All right, let's Let's see what you can pan off. It's all on you. Relying on you, mate. Look at those lily white hairy
White
legs.
legs.
Oh god.
You want to have a look for nuggets? Have a squeeze.
I'm pretty sure I would have picked them up with the detector.
Yeah, I think so too.
Alright, so bigger stuff's off. There's always the potential there's stuff caught down in the slate there, no doubt, because you can have it between the slate. So, you know, in the moving around, putting it in the truck, loading it in the machine, and that would break up some more, but you might not get every bit of it unless you put it through a crusher. Let's see if we can see any shiny. Anticipation's high. Even though I know there's heaps of gold there, this is really going to tell us a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, yep. If there's actually any finer material, like finer gold, or
I sense there's going to be a heap.
if it's...
There has to be. There can't be that much going on there without fine gold around it. Any glints? Oh, there's a bigger. Okay.
Little nug.
No, but not. Do another swirl. Just drop a bit of water out that and do a swirl to see if we can.
I'll try to walk it back, as they say. There's your nug.
I'm not doing a very good job at filming this. I'm too busy watching you. Put it here in the light, a bit closer.
Yeah, one little nug. Little picker.
But not the fines that you would have expected, eh?
No. Until we get down to the end of the bucket, because it might have moved, it might have migrated too.
Yeah, it's true.
So put that in a safe spot.
Alright, we'll come back in a sec. So we've made a discovery. We feel like maybe there's very little fine gold, as in fine, flour gold and stuff like that. It feels like maybe it's going to be more in the realm of pickers, little sub tiny nuggets. And if that was the case, that it would be not too bad an outcome.
Mm.
It probably hasn't had the chance to travel far enough to really create a lot of fine gold, I'd say.
Yep.
It's relatively close to the source still. I don't know, maybe there's comments on whether that's the way it works, but I imagine a lot of that stuff, a lot of that fine gold you find in the big river systems and in Canada and that, you know, they would have come a long way, travelled and eroded. Can we get more than that one little picker? People that are really into this, would probably have a certain regard for that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I've never really been a big other than when we were kids going out and panning. But people who do a lot of small sluicing and whatever, and they do test buckets, they probably go, oh, that's probably not a bad result.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Get a little nugget that shows up in the pan's always pretty good. Bit of clay.
You could definitely get material caught up in little clay balls, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
What's that at the back? Is that something?
No, a bit of clay, yep. Another bit.
Okay. There you go. Let's put no, yeah, so there's, let's have a look. Okay. A little bit there. Give us another little swill in the pan and see whether we can.
Oh, there might have been one little flake.
Just zing it around a bit more.
It definitely stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be. They seem to be about that size. You can sort of detectable maybe with a 6000 if you're right near it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but just that next level down.
I'll get some clean water.
Nice theory. Try again. Yeah.
Yeah, just that one bit there. Can't see anything. See, all the black sand is where the gold should be, and there's nothing in there.
It may still appear. It just hasn't appeared in that pan. Okay, so 2 little bits of gold out of 10 kilos or so. So those 2 little nuggets, 0.08. So look, for ease, let's just say the ease, it was 10 kilos in bucket, and it would get 0.1. You just said if that was sort of an average. Now I have to do a few more buckets. But if that was, let's do some quick sums. 0.1 per 10 kilos, 100 kilos is 1 gram. Is that right? And then 10 times that is a ton. So 10 grams to the ton.
Yeah.
10 grams to the ton? That's...
You'd have about 100 tonnes worth of stockpile.
That's an ounce for every 3 tons. Which means 3 ounces per 10 tons. All right. And it would mean it's 10 times that. So what do we do if we've got 100 ton there?
Probably.
Looks like there's a bit of gold to get out there. Tasty, tasty. I like the sound of that. So just to finalise that a little bit, we've done the quick sums, and each truckload holds 10 ton, which we're saying it could be 3 ounces per truckload. There's probably 20 truckloads over there, so there's probably already 2 kilos in the stockpile, 60 ounces. We've barely even done anything. So it's going to be some rich sluice trades, I would say, when it comes to it. But they're good figures, no doubt. Now we'll have to get some more averages, so we'll test this out over time. Just on the face of it, we need to change our consent conditions and get this organised.